Hello and welcome to Zip News. Two of the world's great powers in Russia and the US have met in an effort to rebuild relations, which have sunk to a post-Cold War low. Secretary of State John Kerry and President Vladimir Putin held a frank meeting during Tuesday's visit, the first since the Ukraine crisis began in early 2014. It was that series of events that led to a sharp deterioration in the relationship. The West has criticised Russia for annexing the Crimean Peninsula and has accused it of arming rebels in eastern Ukraine. Russia continues to deny arming the rebels or sending its own troops to Ukraine. Initially, it denied deploying troops in Crimea before Putin eventually admitted involvement in a documentary aired earlier this year. Despite a denial about Ukraine, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov agreed with Mr. Kerry that the truce in the country is still being violated. Kerry warned at the joint press conference that the ceasefire deal agreed to in Minsk in February must be fully implemented, noting that US and EU sanctions would continue in full until this was achieved. Mr. Lavrov and Mr. Kerry spoke for around 4 hours, with the Ukraine crisis the main focal point. Earlier, Kerry and President Putin discussed, among other things, Iran, Syria, Libya and Yemen. Kerry said it was necessary to keep the lines of communication open between the US and Russia, while Mr. Lavrov said the talks had helped Moscow and Washington improve mutual understanding. He also agreed that Russia was ready to cooperate with the US, but only on an equal basis and without coercion. The talks may not have resulted in any immediate change, but they are a significant breakthrough in themselves. One Kremlin advisor told the BBC that Putin agreed to the discussions with the view of normalising diplomatic relations with the United States, that Moscow has called the visit positive and that Kerry has offered the opportunity to wind back Western sanctions should ultimately lead to that view being realised. And a world where the US and Russia are not actively opposed is a much safer one. I'm Jack Fuller. Thanks for watching.